Kids Wave Radio, let your mind be free. Explore, learn and share in harmony. Email us your thoughts, join the band. Kids Wave Radio at protonmail.com, take a stand.
With Talking Life, I'm Daniel Clulow. The UK is facing a growing skills shortage across defence, aviation and aerospace, just as demand is increasing. Employers warn that the talent pipeline isn't keeping pace, particularly in STEM roles like engineering. Part of Lincoln College Group, the Air and Space Institute is now offering hands-on training using facilities such as flight simulators. I spoke to Mark Taylor, Director of Apprenticeship Partnerships at Lincoln College, to find out more.
The skills shortage in aviation and aerospace is very serious, and it's worsening, and it covers all manner of different roles. So it's technicians, engineers, cabin crew, pilots, and air traffic controllers. I think from our perspective as a college, with the Air and Space Institute in particular in Newark, we also see it as a big opportunity, though, because it's an opportunity for young people and also an opportunity for adults who may wish to change career and do something a little bit different. That's why we set up the Air and Space Institute in 2024 to try and support industry as best we could to fill some of these gaps. But as I say, that's notwithstanding the fact that it is an issue not just in the UK. It's a very much a global issue.
I also spoke with former military and defence engineering student Andrew Ferrell, who told me about his experience.
There's not many courses like this out there, so it's being able to have that and the partners with it makes it stand out to any other college. There's so much in there, there's so much variety. There's always something for everyone, so if you're interested in it, go for it. My dad was an aircraft technician in the Royal Air Force, and that sort of attracted me to the industry, as he showed me what it was and how cool it was, and that attracted me to it. The college as a whole, so there's all the training facilities that they use, but also all the tutors were from the industry, so getting their experience and advice, but also the industry partners through the college. That was also a big thing, helping out with the people going for apprenticeships and jobs.
If you could see yourself or someone you know working in the defence, aviation or aerospace sectors, you can find out more at lincolncollege.ac.uk. With Talking Life, I'm Daniel Clulow.
There's a short clip about apprenticeships. You are listening to me, Charlotte Macmillan, on Kids Wave Radio, and today we're talking about apprenticeships. Coming up in today's show, I have an interview with Lachey, who is an aerospace degree apprentice, and she'll be talking a bit about what that is and what she does in her job role. Also, I managed to catch a few interviews with someone from Lincoln College and another one who works at an aeronautical science lab. But for now, university versus degree apprenticeship. Personally, to myself, I would choose a degree apprenticeship over university, because with a degree apprenticeship, you would actually gain a qualification while actually working on the job. So technically, you're getting paid for learning in a way. Whereas university, you have to take out a student loan if you want to pay for it, or you have to pay for accommodation. It can be very expensive as well if you're in a different city and you're commuting. So a degree apprenticeship for me would be the personal best offer, because then I can just work on the job as well as learning. And Lachey will tell us more about how they balance schoolwork and also the work in general. So, higher education remains the most popular option according to the Higher Education Statistics Agency. Approximately 2.9 million students attended UK universities in 2023 to 2024 academic year. However, now attitudes towards apprenticeships have evolved, and they're now recognised as a viable alternative to university, which is reflected in the number of people deciding on this route to employment. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what's he going to offer for me? What subjects are on offer? So you can pick from a range of courses: accountancy, banking, business, HR, IT, law, marketing, media, nursing, retail, sales, social care, transport. There are many different things. And also, you will learn generally what you would in university. The course and apprenticeship content depend mainly on the subject you choose to study or train in. So each degree and apprenticeship will be different, so you would have to do some research to discover what each involves. So job opportunities through getting an apprenticeship are ecologist, hospital doctor, nanotechnologist, psychotherapist, psychiatrist, surgeon, engineering and manufacturer, property and construction manager, and media profile. Now, back in the old days, loads of people did apprenticeships. There were around 340,000 apprentices per year in the early 20th century, according to an Institute of Directors policy paper from 2003. By the mid-1960s, the high watermark for apprentices in Britain, according to the LOD, roughly 35% of male school leavers aged 15 to 17 went on to do an apprenticeship. However, by 1990, the number of apprentices had dropped to just 53,000. Now, I have someone here, Andrew and Mark, who are going to talk to us about their life as an apprentice.
So, I'm Andrew. I was a student at Lincoln College between 2023 and 2025, and I'm now an aircraft technician.
Great. I'm Mark Taylor. I'm Director of Business Development and Partnerships at Lincoln College Group.
Thank you for joining me on the show. Now, Mark, I'd like to start off by asking you, what's the scale of the shortage in the aviation sector?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the skills shortage in aviation and aerospace is very serious, and it's worsening. And it covers all manner of different roles. So it's technicians, engineers, cabin crew, pilots, and air traffic controllers. I think from our perspective as a college, with the Air and Space Institute in particular in Newark, we also see it as a big opportunity, though, because, you know, it's an opportunity for young people, and also an opportunity for adults who may wish to change career and do something a little bit different. You know, that's why we set up the Air and Space Institute in 2024 to try and support industry as best we could to fill some of these gaps. But as I say, that's notwithstanding the fact that it is an issue not just in the UK. It's a very much a global issue. So if you look at in the next 15 years, it's predicted that they'll need almost 750,000 pilots in the world, and also an additional 750,000 maintenance technicians in the world to support commercial and armed forces flights. So it's a large number. I mean, part of the challenge, I think, is that you've got a situation where engineering generally is quite popular and is in demand. So you've got energy, the energy sector, who are fighting for people, which perhaps is a new element that wasn't an issue a few years ago. And then you've got the automotive industry, obviously, as well, advanced manufacturing. So there's a lot of challenges trying to, from an engineering perspective, a lot of competing sectors trying to attract people with a very similar skill set. And obviously, that's a challenge for the aviation and aerospace industry.
So how is Lincoln College helping to address this challenge?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we see our role as being one of trying to raise aspiration amongst young people and give them a sense of what the art of the possible is, and give them a clear route way and pathway through from their studies into work. So, Andrew will be able to talk about his own experience from the point of view where he's working now. But I think there's as young children, I know I've got young children myself, there's limited exposure to aviation and aerospace careers at school. And therefore, perhaps young people don't necessarily know that the pathways exist. And I think that's something that we need to try and improve on. So, there's fewer industry visits than there might be, and therefore interest in these roles is somewhat diminished. And so we see our role as engaging with schools, first and foremost, to try and, as I say, raise that aspiration and make young people realize that careers in the aerospace and aviation industry are possible. I mean, we've had a graduate from the ASI last year, I think a couple of years ago, who is now a fast jet pilot for the RAF. We've got a couple who are helicopter pilots and search and rescue, and another one in the RAF. And then you've got fantastic stories like Andrew's, where individuals are going through into the career that they've wanted to do into engineering. So we're very much geared around giving a practical vocational experience to young people, and we're very employer led. So basically, the courses that we deliver are very relevant to industry. So what that means is young people can come to us, they can learn their skills, and then when they come to graduate from one of our courses, they are attractive to industry, and they will be able to go and find a job within it. So obviously, that's good for the young person, because there's a purpose to what they're doing, and it's good for the industry because actually the people who are coming out have got, as I say, relevant skills. We're not just in the business of training people for the sake of it. We want to make sure that they are able to go and do a job. So you've got that practical hands-on training. We've got some fantastic facilities here at the ASI. It's a £15 million investment by Newark and Sherwood District Council, supported funding of that through the Towns Fund. And we've got an Airbus A318 that's been converted to an A320 Neo. So people can work on and effectively practice on that machine. We've got simulation centers and suites. We've got VR studios. We've got CAD and engineering workshops. So we're well set up to be able to provide vocational qualifications and some of that practical experience, as I say, that employers need. Plus, we're well linked in with Nottingham Trent University, so that if people think, right, you know what, I'd like to continue my studies and go on to higher NTQs in level 4, 5, and 6, then they can do that as well.
Thank you very much, Mark. Now, Andrew, over to you. What attracted you to engineering?
So my dad was an aircraft technician in the Royal Air Force, and that sort of attracted me to the industry, as he showed me what it was and how cool it was, and that attracted me to it, yeah. So I'd say the college as a whole, really, there's not anything specifically. So there's all the training facilities that they use, but also all the tutors were from the industry, so getting their experience and advice, but also the industry partners through the college. That was also a big thing, helping out with people going for apprenticeships and jobs. Yeah, so there's not many courses like this out there. So it's being able to have that and the partners with it makes it stand out to any other college. There's so much in there. There's so much variety. There's always something for everyone. So if you're interested in it, go for it.
So if people want to find out more about it, where can they go for more information?
LincolnCollege.com is absolutely the right place to go, and then you'll find out about all the different courses that we deliver, including as Andrew mentioned, the great offer at the Aerospace Institute.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for chatting to me today. It's been a very wonderful experience talking to both of you. Today, we're talking about apprenticeships and different ways young people can build their future careers. It's National Apprenticeship Week, and new research shows more families are now thinking about apprenticeships as an alternative to university. I'm joined by Lachey, an aerospace degree apprenticeship at BAE Systems, who works on real aircraft jets.
Kids Wave Radio, let your thoughts run free. Listen, learn and share, just be what you can be. Find us on Spotify, anytime you go. Kids Wave Radio, let it flow.
Lachey, welcome to the show.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm good, thanks.
Now, for listeners who might not know, what exactly is an apprenticeship and what made you choose that path?
So an apprenticeship is a paid learning and working scheme where apprentices are students, but they're gaining the practical skills within work and also working towards a qualification towards which are handed towards the end of your apprenticeship. So you usually get placed in a company and you work in different parts of the company, such as placements, gaining those different practical skills and working towards a diploma or a degree. There are different types of apprenticeship routes that an individual can take. So you can explore your different options that you have there.
It sounds wonderful compared to other things. I think many people now are enticed by apprenticeships because you can also have degree apprenticeships where you walk out with a degree afterwards, and you're also getting paid for it at the same time.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
You're working on Tornado and Hawk aircraft jets, which sounds incredible. What does a typical day look like for you?
So within my apprenticeship scheme, I'm doing placement rotation, so I work in different teams within the company. So right now I'm in a Hawk based placement, so that involves like investigations on the aircraft, material supply chains, communicating with different teams across BAE Systems, and also liaising with stakeholders based on the work that I've been given. Alongside that, I also do extracurriculars such as the local apprentice council. So every day is a new day, and I'm constantly growing and discovering new skills of mine, which is exciting.
It sounds very exciting indeed. You're right there. And I would love to go on one of these apprenticeships. It sounds very fun and interesting indeed.
Yeah.
When you were younger, did you kind of like always imagine working in engineering, or did your interests like change over time?
Yeah, so I always had an interest in STEM subjects, ranging from like architecture, but it was only when I was in sixth form I discovered online webinars and work experience within the aerospace industry. I never really considered it before, but once doing those online webinars and work experience, I found myself gravitating towards aerospace because it was something that really captured my interest. And seeing the new technology was something that I had never really encountered in other industries before. So yeah, it was sort of like a late decision on my part, but it was just captivating, and I was like, yeah, I would really like to go in there.
Personally, I'm quite interested in engineering, civil engineering. Really, I kind of like the idea of working alongside with all different mechanical tools and fixing things.
Yes.
So I quite like engineering indeed. Was there a moment when you realised that kind of this was what you wanted to do when you were exploring for jobs and things like that?
Yeah, so it was actually researching BAE's apprenticeships and just seeing the structure of the course. So the training at the Aircraft Maintenance Academy within my first 9 months of the apprenticeship, that was something that interested me from the start, because compared to other apprenticeship schemes, this one was really unique. And the fact that I'm coming out with 2 years specializing towards the end of my apprenticeship, that was something that really interested me. And from hearing people's experiences at BAE Systems and the amount of support apprentices get, that was something that really captured my interest. And I was like, this is where I want to be and this is what I want to do.
Wow, so it sounds like quite a long process and journey that you realised you wanted to work in this field. So it's kind of like you've always wanted to do this in a way, but you just discovered it.
Yes, yeah.
Now let's go to your work aspect. What's it like fitting and replacing real aircraft components and seeing engineering drawings coming to life?
So within my training period, within my first year of my apprenticeship, fitting components and reading drawings was a really new skill that I hadn't picked up before. Like being in an aircraft hangar itself was such a new experience, and there were so many procedures that you had to follow. And going on the jets themselves was such a exciting but strenuous task because everything on an aircraft is critical. So you have to follow the sheets, the instruction sheets, you have to follow the signing off procedures, and you learn so much on the job. And it's extremely interesting, and you learn so much, and you can sort of fit in your theoretical knowledge to what you're doing practically, which is really, really great. And just sort of working on the components, whether that's from CAD and following that life cycle process through to producing the drawings is such a rewarding process, and and it really consolidates your learning and what you do as an engineer, which is really great.
It must be very rewarding to see your ideas coming to life once you've designed them. So it's a very interesting and amazing job indeed. Is there a part of your job that surprised you once you started, like you'd never known that was how it was done or something like that?
Definitely. It's definitely the engineering processes. There's a lot more that undergoes within each process that you don't really think of. Even aircraft, like how an aircraft functions, it is so complex and so fascinating that one small idea that you don't really think, has much going on behind it, there's a series of processes that leads up to that point, which was really fascinating, and you learn so much about that. So I think that was the biggest discovery that I made, was that how engineering in our company functions and all the underlying processes that come underneath it.
So it's actually a really interesting job. You can find so many things out when you start. That surprised you about how aircraft and things like that. So you were just given a great example there of one bit that surprised you.
Absolutely, yes.
For children listening who might think engineering sounds difficult or technical, what would you say to encourage them?
Definitely try out society's online work experiences, in real life experiences as well. Give those opportunities a try and sort of explore your passions and interests. There's nothing wrong with exploring it and sort of reaching out to your teachers or extracurriculars that sort of expand within that STEM industry, because it is very, very interesting. And even attending, local science shows or local engineering work experiences, they all give you sort of that touch into what this industry does, and can sort of lead into why they're interested in and sort of boost that passion within them.
Now, I hope that all the children out there have taken that inspiration, because that was a very good way of encouraging them. Now, what skills have helped you most so far, especially ones you maybe didn't expect?
Yes, definitely my communication and engineering problem solving skills. That is something that I've learned and improved on in my apprenticeship. Communicating specific details across different teams so they are able to understand what a project needs and what is required from them. That is a major skill that I have been using, whether that's international or national customers. Is very, very important that you're able to communicate properly. Also, engineering problem solving skills. There's a lot of software and resources that you need to sort of use to solve an engineering problem, whether that's using Excel or CAD or root cause analysis software. All those skills that I hadn't really imagined I would be using to that level, they've definitely improved over time from when I first started the apprenticeship to where I am at now.
So wow, you can pick up so many skills from apprenticeships, and especially engineering, indeed.
Yes.
Now, with technology changing so quickly and AI becoming a part of everybody's life, what kind of opportunities do you think will still exist for young people in engineering in the future?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Definitely engineering and software. As technology is developing, so is the software within aircraft and the technology components. There's going to be a huge amount of doors opening within that sector that is going to become more complex, going to become more exciting, and obviously more innovative. So that is definitely a door that will be expanded to the younger generation as technology continues to grow, because we will have a bigger need for more complex and more smart technology.
Now, I think, yes, you've hit on a very great point there. There'll be loads of opportunities for people to kind of get involved with the tech as well, because the tech would need serious maintenance and you need to make sure it's working and things like that. So it actually opens loads of opportunities for younger generations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, one of the big things people talk about with apprenticeships is earning while learning. How has that felt for you personally?
Absolutely great. The earning while learning provides you that financial security as well. So for my apprenticeship, I relocated from Kent up to East Yorkshire, and having that financial security whilst at work was really, really great. It also helps open doors for career advancements and career opportunities. So you're able to have that professional enrichment and development within your career. And it also allows you to sort of have more development in your education career as well. So if you were to complete your degree or your master's or get your professional registration like engineering chartership, that really sort of that financial freedom really helps you with that.
So it's actually quite handy there, having a steady income while learning as well. So you're getting
absolutely
the skills you need and want as well. So learning while earning is one big advantage of apprenticeships.
Yes.
So now this is more about you. Do you still study alongside the practical work, and how do you kind of balance both, if so?
Yeah, so I work 4 times a week, and then once a week we have university days, which is working towards our degree. How we balance it was a bit tricky at the start because it was a brand new atmosphere and obviously a new timetable for us, but the way the course was structured allowed us to study whilst working full time, which was really, really great. And I think just having an organized schedule, if dedicate an hour every week after work to sort of work towards those assignments. And your lecturers and your universities are very understanding towards your course, so they will be there to offer support. And your company as well, you have your skills coaches, so any concerns or queries that you have towards working towards your university assignments, they'll be there to support you and help you along that journey. But the way the course is structured, you are able to have that balance, which is great.
That's wonderful to have that kind of it's very practical to have that balance as well.
Yes.
Especially with the 4-day a week working and then the 5th day kind of learning. So it balances it very well indeed.
Yep.
Now, you've been described as a trailblazing female South Asian apprentice. How important is it for young people to see someone like them working in engineering?
Absolutely. I think it's really important. It shows that representation as a South Asian female within a predominantly male-centered field. I think that representation is great because it encourages and inspires younger generations to sort of follow in that pathway if they were too anxious or scared to sort of go towards engineering. It also helps with cultural change and adapting to a new society, which I think is really, really great. It helps you step out that comfort zone and shows other people that you are supported and there are other people like you within that industry, and you can follow down that pathway, which I think is really, really important for the younger generation.
Indeed, it is, to see someone like them being represented as well. Did you ever have a role model growing up or people who inspired you to keep going?
Yes, definitely. I think my parents definitely sort of encouraged me and inspired me to go through that engineering industry. And also you see you read articles on online, LinkedIn, and you see these female engineers that are constantly changing and leading the industry, which is really, really inspiring, and sort of helps the younger generation see this is the role that I want to go into, and constantly challenges the industry, which I think is really inspiring. And that's what helped me sort of go into that industry and not be as scared.
Right, so you did have quite a few role models, and there are many role models out there for children today.
Yes.
Now let's have you gave some great advice previously. So now I want to know, if someone listening right now, they feel very curious about engineering, but they don't know where to start, what's one small step they could take?
A step that I took was seek out my careers advisors or any teachers at school to sort of help seek those resources that could help push me into an industry. So whether that's online resources or in-person work experiences, that's something that is available online and you can be researching. But I would if you are a student at school and you're not sure where to start, definitely seek out help from your teachers or your careers advisors on where you can get those resources and where you can attend those webinars or those work experiences to see what you would like in the future.
And that is some wonderful advice for all our young listeners out there. And actually, there's so many children who look at people on social media and say, oh yeah, I'm not clever enough, I can never do that. What would you say to that sort of child who thinks they're not very clever enough for science or engineering?
Don't say that to yourself, because it's not, grades don't define you. That's something that I learned during school. A-levels were a very hard period, like a hard time for me. I struggled a lot, but sort of going down that apprenticeship route and that having that hybrid learning really helped me get to a better place. And just don't think that about yourself, and don't think that you're not too clever, because that's never the case. Go out, try new things, experience new opportunities to sort of get you into that path.
And that's some wonderful advice there for all our young listeners. But sadly, we are coming to the end of this fantastic interview. But I have a few questions before we leave. What has been your proudest moment so far in your apprenticeship?
Definitely attending one of the UK's largest defence shows, briefing at our 6th generation fighter jet Tempest. That was a really great achievement of mine, because I was able to sort of brief and brief at the stand on the work that I've been working on during my placements, and I was able to go there with my manager and someone else from my team, which was really a great opportunity, because we were able to meet international ambassadors and meet so many people within the industry, which was really inspiring. So I think that has been the most exciting and my proudest achievement so far during my apprenticeship.
Yes, that definitely sounds like a wonderful moment to be proud of indeed. And finally, what message would you like to leave for children thinking about their future careers?
Any opportunity, go for it. Step out your comfort zone and find out the things that you would really like to do. Don't be too scared. Just put yourself out there and see what you'd like. There's so many resources and opportunities online, and just go for it and see what you'd like and explore. The world is your oyster, essentially.
And that's brilliant advice there. I'd like to thank you for coming on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for helping. Thank you so much for having me.
Kids Wave Radio, let your mind be free. Explore, learn, and share in harmony.